Tonight, David performs an original monologue called Essays on America. The characters in this piece were inspired by another film also written by David and his co-writer, Siraj Sabaha, named 51 Stars. The film is about illegal immigration, and it considers many viewpoints in addition to the one that is expressed in this monologue. Please join me in welcoming David Gerson.
Listen, don't kill him. I want to send that Ethiopian back to Africa, okay? I want him to starve in the country where he belongs, all right? What are you supposed to do? I love this girl. She made me feel about her like I never felt about anybody else in my life. She gave me this tingling feeling under my pectorals like I never felt before. First night I spent with her, when I woke up, she's touching my face, my forehead and my cheek and my chin. I'm not a racist, all right? My dad, he is a racist. I am not. When I was 14 years old, I come home from Halloween. I was dressed as a terrorist. My friend, he's dressed as Stalin, the other one's dressed as Hitler. I come back. My dad's been drinking a little too much Jack. My friends, they see him, they run away. He must have been back from Kuwait or something. He sees me and he goes, "This is the thanks I get? I'm off fighting these guys abroad for 2 years, and this is the thanks I get? I come home and my own son is dressed as an Arab?" He tried to teach me a lesson. And later, my mom's holding me in the basement and she's saying, "Don't blame him, son. Don't blame him. Don't blame him." Now, my mom and I, we were really close. My dad was gone all the time, so we used to sleep in the same bed together till I was about 10 years old. Now listen, we're not from West Virginia, okay? It's not like that. But we were always alone, and I had nightmares and she had nightmares, so we wanted the company. And you get to a certain age when you can't have that love coming from your mother anymore. When you want that love, you want that affection, but you need somebody else to give it to you. And that's what she, Christina, gave to me. So my dad gets back from Iraq about 2 months ago. A week later, he's hit by a drunk driver. Now, listen, we all make mistakes, but this guy happened to be an illegal immigrant. And right away, he escapes across the border before we can keep track of him. That is precisely the problem with these people. You cannot keep track of them. And if you can't keep track of them, ultimately, you can't trust them. So I'm at the funeral. Now, like I say, I didn't like my dad. I'm not too upset. Christina comes with me there. Afterwards, she's holding me. You know, it's like you go to a funeral and you can hold a person. And it's like everything's right, and you just, but then an hour later, a week later, you can't have that anymore. With Christina, it was always like that. And what are you supposed to do? If you see somebody and she's making you cry, and I don't cry, all right? She's kissing my tears and making me see things in myself that I never saw before. What are you supposed to do? How are you not supposed to start to need somebody like that? How are you not supposed to start to love somebody like that? So next thing I know, I've fallen in love. And she's saying she wants to marry me, and I'm saying, well, that was easy, that's great. I go to my mom, and I say, Mom, I think I'm going to get married. She goes, oh yeah, what's the girl's name? I go, Christina. She goes, how do you spell that? I go, Christina. She goes, Christina? Son, are you an idiot? You gonna marry an Hispanic? Don't you realize she's an illegal immigrant? She just wants to marry you for your papers? I say, Mom, she's not necessarily Hispanic. And just because if she is Hispanic doesn't mean she wants my papers or that she's an illegal immigrant. Now, Christina, she looked just as white as anybody else. She got blue eyes and beautiful blonde hair and a body like you have never seen. So, I bring her over for Thanksgiving to meet my mom and our friends. Mom says she's brought Kevin over. Now, Kevin's a friend of hers, and he's a union worker. He's going on and on, but a union worker can't get a job anymore because these illegal immigrants, these Hispanics, are taking over all of the work in the city. My mom goes on and on. She's saying, how can you live with illegal immigrants in your community? You got 15 guys living next door. 15 guys. You don't know if they're rapists, if they're drug dealers. You don't know who these people are. If you can't keep track of them, you can't trust them, just like my dad said. And I'm saying, Mom, stop. Now, Christina's there. Mind you, Christina's there. She's nodding her head. She's going along with it all, saying, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Mrs. Edwards. You're absolutely right. She didn't tell me she was an illegal immigrant. And here I am getting in fights with my mom, defending this girl. She could have told me up front. It would have been such a big deal. Next thing I know, I'm a manager at a diner, right? She works for me there. She's a waitress. We got another guy who works there. His name is Asbino. He's from Ethiopia. We were sort of friends once in the sense of we smoked cigarettes together. That was about it. I should have realized, and this is where I was really stupid, that when she started to really find an affection for this guy, it wasn't because of his looks or anything else. Because she saw something in herself about her being a legal immigrant that I guess... Next thing I know, they're going to a rally together in D.C., and the idiot that I am, I didn't realize anything. They're going to some legal immigration rally. She comes back, and she leaves her purse on the table. She left it out. And right on top of her purse is a photograph. One of those things you take in a picture booth. A picture of her and Asbino's kissing her. Maybe it's an innocent thing, but did she think I wasn't going to see that? I'm willing to let that go until the next day. In the basement of the diner, there's this office, and I'm doing taxes as I usually do, and we've got these surveillance cameras. I'm minding my business, I look up, and I look outside at the dumpster, and what do I see? The same thing. She's kissing him all over again. So tell me, what am I supposed to do? Him, yeah, I can get Hunter to go and take care of him. I can send him back to Ethiopia. I can't do that to her. Can I send her back to Colombia? I mean, why should I? Someone who's grown up in this country, whose parents are from this country, who's a true American, why should I have to be afraid of my home? So let's say I find Christina, okay? And I'm driving down the street, and I go to a bar, and I see her, and she's touching some other guy's face. Why should I have to suffer like that? This country is based on the concept of the pursuit of happiness. Why should someone who's from this country have their pursuit of happiness threatened by somebody who's not from this country? You tell me. As far as I see it, I got every right in the world, every right to deport this girl and send her back to her country.